Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap for Monday, December the 5th, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, drill down to the structure of the market, look at our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create multiple hypotheses so that we have a plan in place for whatever the market throws at us. This is a subscription room, so if you're interested in checking it out, please send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There is no blog, there's no website, this is not a commercial venture. This is a group of retail traders that we get together each day, and we do these live sessions, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade metrics, and your risk metrics. Taking a look at Friday. We were expecting somewhat of a balanced day coming into the month. I was looking for a liquidation break at near the end of the day due to the Italian referendum that came out and was defeated. There's going to be some continued news risk coming out of Europe because of that. But basically, we opened auction in range. We failed to get above the value area high of Thursday. Then we rolled over as anticipated and moved down into the lower distribution. We were expecting a test of the upper distribution and then a test of the lower distribution. And then we rallied to try to get back up into the upper distribution and then failed miserably, and then we were chopping around here, and that's why I was looking for that liquidation break and the break of the week low down here at the 2186 area, but the buyers came in and held us up, and we got a pretty decent Gaussian distribution, balanced day as they fought the double distribution area and filled in the LVN into the close, and we closed at 92 and a quarter and had a VPOC shift to 92.50. So taking a look at the news, of course we had the referendum last night and it got defeated in Italy. Europe, because of that, and the less likelihood that they'll leave the euro. They had a nice rally last night. We had a nice rally after Europe opened, well, actually even before Europe opened. We do have the Eurogroup meetings all day, so there is headline risk there. So if you're trading currencies, just be careful. Even commodities. I think gold is going to be pretty volatile today as well. We had Dudley speaking. He is a dove, and basically he's suggesting raising rates on a slow basis as the economy appears to be recovering nicely. 9:45 we've got final services PMI, and then 10 o'clock will be the big one. ISM non-manufacturing PMI, labor market conditions, and then 2 o'clock we've got FOMC Bullard speaking. Looking forward to this news this week. The big ones being Canadian trade balance, revised non-farm tomorrow, and then on Wednesday we've got the Bank of Canada rate. This could be an early signal to what the Fed is going to do. We've got crude inventories on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got ECB and unemployment claims from the United States. And then Friday, we have U of M consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. The real big news will come next week. So let's look at the news. Let's take a look at the macro to the micro. I always like to start with a monthly chart, as you all know, 9 EMA, 20 SMA, looking for slope and separation where we are within the trends, where it's being challenged, whatever chart levels uh, or patterns that we see. Beautiful multi-year upward trend. Then we challenged it at the end of 15, beginning of 16. Since then, we've taken back, put in a new all-time high at 2213.75. We've got slope and separation. We have a following three pattern that is showing that this continuation is looking to go higher. On the weekly, we closed last week with a down week. It was not an inside bar though, and we've already taken back half of it in just the overnight session. Our week open is 2184. We gapped down. We filled that gap. We've got slope and separation to the upside, so the trend is still intact on the weekly. On the daily, we came down and tested the 20 SMA and popped today above the 20 and the 9, and this looks like a continuation pattern. Going to the intraday, we had rolled over, we had slope and separation to the downside, and then we opened up this week, and then we immediately started running to the upside, and we're now above the 9 and the 20. Test of the 20 SMA will bring us down to 2195.50, which is where I'd be watching to see if we fail from there. Going to the 1 hour, we've got a FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky, tech gap. We came down. We almost closed the gap. I would consider that this gap is pretty much closed. Pay attention, though. If we do not hold the 97, we do have a naked cross down at 89 on the 1 hour. And this could set up to be a flag continuation pattern as well. So just be careful, pick your level to look for them to hold, and then see if we get this continuation. Going to the 30-minute, you see that again a push up, a Mr. Sneaky, technical gap, close the gap, but hold, and now we're pushing up again. And again, there's another naked cross down here at 2186.50. I'm going to be paying attention to these. If we see any weakness, these are going to be my targets today. Going to the 15-minute, again, a big gap up and technical gap, come down, close. And then we've started to get a downward channel on the 15-minute, a trend, but we've, since the news and Dudley speaking, we've taken it back, and we're about to try to break above the 20. We just came up and closed this naked cross that we put in on the down move at the 2200. Again, there's a naked cross down here at 2185, so mark that 85, 86 level on your journal. It's going to be important if we can't hold the 90s, especially that 91.75 that we'll talk about. Just coming up and closing this naked cross right here. We were getting a downward channel, but again, the news and Dudley speaking is basically showing some strength, and we're testing that 2200. We're really just chopping around the microcomposite VPOC, which is at 99.50. So let's take a look at the bigger structure. And you can see that here we are. We had our balance for, I don't know how long that we were in this this balance area, chopping above and below value. Then we finally gap up, set value higher at 72, 73 area, continue up, accept value higher at the 2183, and then we kept on going, and then we put in that new all-time high, tried to hold value at 2207, and Friday we could not hold it, and we fell out of it, and came down and tested the 2185.75 CLVN, bounced from there, basically chopping around that 2190 area, and now we're back up. We're going to gap up today again, most likely if we could hold above the high from Friday at 21.97 and a quarter. Sorry, I said this was Friday. This was Thursday. And chopping around the microcomposite VPOC at 21.99.50. We could end up just chopping around here today. Levels to keep pay close attention to 2202. If we get above 2202 and a quarter, that puts us back inside of the 4-day. It should be 5-day, but I can't put the holiday in. And we get back up inside of that value, and I'd be looking for continuation up towards the 2207. Of course, if we get above the 2210, I'm looking for the all-time high to be taken out at 2213.75. This is an unequalized high. Put in the Globex and our RTH high at 3 ticks below it. It's not really that big of an unequalized high. Below us, we've got the range from yesterday and the CLVN at 21.97 and a quarter. Below that, I'm looking for a move back towards the VPOC and the close and the 21.92 to 21.90. Our key line in the sand is going to be the 21.85.75, because if we can't hold there, we did go down overnight. We said the next big destination below was at 20.80.50. Our overnight low, we went down and took that out. Went down to, I believe, what was the low overnight? Well, let's take a look at the overnight session. Our overnight low is 21.97. Our overnight high is 22.05.75, and our current VPOC, which is not likely to shift, is at the 2200 and a quarter. They're going to battle this this centennial number again today. I caution you, don't get chopped up in that battle. I see it happen all the time, where you get a plan in your head that you're going to be long a centennial number or short a centennial number, depending on where it is, and what do? They chop it in a 3 or 4 point range around it, and you just get chopped up. So wait for one side to take control around the centennial number before you commit and start building any type of position. It's very difficult to chop these levels, especially when you see this type of balance, okay, that we've seen. So our overnight high is 22.05.75. Take these off. Our overnight low is 21.97. Our 20-day full session ATR is running at 23.56. So our upside ATR target is all the way up at 22.20.56. I'm sorry, it's our 79, sorry, 21.79. I got dyslexia. Plus 23.56, 22.02.50, which means that we've already basically done our daily ATR over in the overnight session, and obviously 22.05.75 minus 23.56. 22.05.75 minus 23.56 is 21.82. $82 and a quarter to be exact. So you can see that we basically have ranged our average true range already. There is a LVN we should pay attention to at the 2197. That is also the CLVN. It is also our range high. So this is going to be basically our over-under line, our warning line, lower price discovery. The 86, 85, 75 is going to be our key line in the sand. And that's about all the information I need from the Globex. Looking at our other levels, obviously below 97. I mean, 90. This is our microcomposite VPOC or balance. I always miss that T. Okay, so let's do the numbers above. So, if we can hold the balance and hold above balance, I'm looking for them to come up and test the range high from Thursday at 2202, test the daily upside ATR target. I really don't think that that's going to hold us. If we can get above there, I'm targeting the 0350 as my first target, and then obviously the overnight high. 2210 is a key level I'm going to be watching. What's the, sorry, got 2200, then we've got 2208 is the value area high. I'm going to move that down slightly. And then we've got the 1075 on the longer term. And then, of course, we've got the all-time high up at 1375. I don't think that I'm going to use the 13 because I think the 1075 is going to give us a push-up. And then we've got 2220 and a quarter measured move. And that's all I got to the upside. Need to look at some other measured moves, and we'll take a look at that in real time. Below the 97, we want to be looking at the 93 and a quarter, which just happens to be our value area. And in between that, the target you want to shoot for on the break of 97 is the 95.50. I would even say 95.75, the little HVN there. I don't think this LVN is going to cause us much problems. I think it's really the value area that I'd shoot for. And then, of course, the 93 and a quarter, you're targeting this cluster of key areas from 92.50 down to the 90.50. And then the next support comes in at so this is the 90 and a quarter is going to be a key target. And then, of course, the value area low. The 87 is not as important as the 86 and 85.75, those two. Below that, target the 82. And then we've got the overnight low down at 79 with a naked cross, or sorry, a naked naked VPOC and a naked close. And remember, we've got those naked crosses between 86 and 84, so I'll be watching that. So those are the key levels to look for. We are going to be gapping up, so this market just doesn't want to stay down. It's like the analogy that FT was putting out there. It's like a balloon underwater. You just can't hold it down. It just keeps popping up. So I'm expecting chop on the open. I'm expecting an open auction out of range or an open test drive. And my main hypothesis is a open auction out of range, maybe an open test drive testing both 97 and 2202. But I'm basically looking for wide opening range, a move down, and then somewhere between 90 and 95, 96 area, I'm looking for a responsive, initiative buyers to step in and continue this path up and go up and take out the overnight high up at 2205, chop around in this area, and then push through and possibly make a new high today. And we could get a balanced day, and we could just chop between the 90 and the 2208 area and chop in here. Hypothesis 2 is a open auction, out of range, a push up, failure to get in and hold the 2200, and then start moving down, come down, chop around the 97 area, push through down to the 91, chop down inside of Friday with a late day probe down into the 86, maybe even into the 80. But my hypo 2 is really, hypo 2 and hypo 1 are so close it's hard. But basically the difference between the two of them is a balanced day above range with a quick test into it, or a balanced day in range, okay, with a failure to hold the 2200s and just chopping in here. That's my two main hypotheses. I think today is going to be somewhat of a balancing day. Hypo 3 is an open drive and a push up and just a trend day up, a gap and go day, making new all-time highs and coming up into the 2220. Although with the range that we've had overnight, it's less probable than finding balance above or inside of range. Hypo 4 is a failure day and a failure to hold 2200, work through range and value, come down, chop in this 86, and then fail and come down, take out the 80-50 and push down, back down towards the 72. That is my least likely scenario, although it would probably offer us the biggest opportunity. Remember that we've already hit our ATR range today, so we're likely to get balance, and we're not likely to get a big range today. That's why hypo 1 and hypo 2 are balanced days above or below range. So that's our ES. I want to quickly just go over to gold, because gold continues to be very erratic, and that's due to the news we have with the Italian referendum. We're expecting that. But come on. Okay, so currently, it just moved. Why won't you stay there? Okay, that one moved. I'm just trying to get this 3-day profile in. All right, the only way to do this easy is just to delete you and then redraw you. I really want 4-day. For some reason, it's not letting us. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. But the key here is that we've had this big move down, and we're balancing around the 74. The 7-day microcomposite is around 1178, but the key is we keep failing to hold above the 1190 area. and that leads me to believe that the sellers continue to step in here. We're not finding buyers and sustaining the move up in gold. We're finding buyers, they're taking it up, they can't take it out of this value and hold it, okay, and every time we come back down towards the 74, and each time we're coming and testing the lows again. We had an overnight low on gold down, I believe it was the 60, 62, 61 area. Overnight low in gold was, I'm sorry, 1164. And we're trading $4 off of that. We're trying to hold inside of this value area. I'm thinking if we can't get back above the 1180 today, get above the 78 and a quarter microcomposite VPOC and stay on this side of value, there's not a lot of price acceptance in this area, and I think they continue their price discovery lower. There's this naked close down here at 1160 and a quarter. I think we're going to hit that if we don't hold above and get above this this microcomposite VPOC. And the next big destination below is still down here at 1146.40 and then 1140, with the big number being down here at 1129. Below 1129, I think we're going to test into the 1000s. We got targets down below at 1120.70, 1116.90, 1110.60. So there's weakness that we're still seeing in gold. So be careful on gold. Pick your spots and don't get overly long yet, and start building a position. Because I still see some weakness here. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.